Good morning. Actually, it is good morning. And I say hello again, and I'm going to tell you the story of how Winnie the Pooh got his name. Because he first started out as Edward Bear. So when A. Milne started writing these books for Christopher Robin about the bears, his very first was called When We Were Young, and he had a whole book of poems. And in there, he talks about all kinds of things. But the very last one is called Teddy Bears. Now, teddy bears were named after American President Theodore Roosevelt, but we're not going to go there, but that's where they got their name. So this is about teddy bears. So this one is, we're going to talk about Winnie, but when he was Edward. A bear, however he tries, grows tubby without exercise. Now they use the word stout because sometimes for a bigger man they call him stout, but he's tubby. Grows tubby without exercise. Our teddy bear is short and fat, which is not to be wondered at. He gets what exercise he can by falling off the ottoman, but generally seems to lack the energy to clamber back. Now, tubbiness is not just the thing which gets a fellow wondering, and Teddy wonders a lot. The fact that he is rather stout, he thought, if only I were thin, but how does one begin? He thought, it really isn't fair to grudge me exercise and air. Might yet be named, or did he mean the years ago he might have been? But now he felt a slight misgiving. Is Louis so-and-so still living? Fashions and beauty have a way of altering from day to day. Is handsome Louis, now he's referring to Louis, a French king, so I don't know where he learned about him, but he said, is Louis so-and-so still living? Is fashions and beauty is the way of altering from day to day? Is handsome Louis with us yet? Unfortunately, I forget. Next morning, nose to window pane. He's sitting on the windowsill looking out the window. Nose to window pane, the doubts occurred to him again. One question hammered in his head. Is he alive or is he dead? Thus, nose to pane, he wondered, but the lattice window, loosely shut, swung open, and with one startled, oh, out our Teddy disappears below. There happened to be passing by a plump man with a twinkling eye, who, seeing Teddy in the street, raised him politely to his feet, and murmured kindly in his ear soft words of comfort and cheer. Well, well, allow me. Oh, not at all. Tut, tut, a very nasty fall. Our Teddy answered not a word. It's doubtful if he even heard. Our bear could only look and look, the stout man in the picture book. That handsome king, could this be he? This man of adiposity, that's a funny word for being fat. Impossible, he thought, but still, no harm in asking. Yes, I will. Are you, he said, by any chance, His Majesty, the King of France? The other answered, I am that, bowed stiffly, and removed his hat. Then said, excuse me with an air, but is it Mr. Edward Bear? And Teddy, bending very low, replied politely, even so. They stood beneath the window there, the king and Mr. Edward Bear. Here's our Edward Bear. And handsome is a little fat, talked carelessly of this and that. Then he said, His Majesty, well, well, I must get on, and rang the bell. Your bear, I think, he smiled, good day, and turned and went upon his way. Because he rang the bell and somebody came and took our Edward Bear into the house. A bear, however hard he tries, grows tubby without exercise. Our teddy bear is short and fat, which is not to be wondered at. But do you think it worries him to know that he is far from slim? No, just the other way about. He's proud of being short and stout. So that's about Edward the Bear from this book. Now, at the beginning of the book, we talked about A. Milne, talked about his son, Christopher Robin. And Christopher Robin, they are best friends. Christopher Robin loved to go to the zoo. And he went to the zoo, and the first thing he did was rush right through to see his favorite things, the bears. He first stopped at the polar bears. Now here's a mama polar bear with some babies. But he stopped and saw the mama polar bear. He went past her, and then he went to see the big brown bears. And he was fascinated because the brown bears in the wintertime curled up in a box and just went to sleep. And they hibernated, which is a word for sleeping, all winter. So brown bear. So then the very next thing that Christopher Robin went to do was to look at the swans. Now his favorite swan would come over and speak to him sometimes. And Christopher Robin named him Pooh. But sometimes the swan didn't come. So he said, well, that was okay because he just said Pooh like he didn't care. After a while, the swan went away, but Christopher Robin went home and he took the name Pooh with him because he liked the name Pooh. So he came down and he saw Edward the bear and he decided, I'm going to call him Pooh. So that's how Edward Bear turned into Pooh. I don't know where they found Winnie, but they did call him Winnie the Pooh. So after we heard about Edward the bear fell out the window and he was rather stout. And then Christopher Robin went to the zoo and he saw the bears and he saw the swan named Pooh. And so he took home the name Pooh. And so that's how Winnie the Pooh got his name. I thought you might be interested to know because I always wondered myself. So have a great day. Say like and share and subscribe, and maybe we'll tell you some more stories now about Winnie the Pooh.